Hey guys, welcome back to Channel Positive Cleaning, and this is week number 8 of the 100K journey of 2024. Now, as you kind of tell, I have a different setup this week. We have a special guest. This week we have Ashley's mother-in-law here. Well, actually my mother-in-law, Ashley's mom here, because I call her my mother-in-law. But she's here visiting us, and we kind of did a lot of things with her this week. We went sightseeing, you know, the Hollywood sign, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the beach, Beverly Hills. So we have a lot going on this week, and so we have other things planned for her. So maybe in the upcoming videos I'll kind of like show kind of what we're doing. We'll see. Yeah, so I don't have my professional mic on the camera, so if the audio quality isn't the greatest, you know, just understand that this is the mic from the camera, so that, this is my setup this week. But anyways, so when it comes to window cleaning, that's why we're all here, right? This week it rained a couple of days. It rained on Monday and Tuesday, and I think a lot of people are kind of like hesitant to do their windows because, you know, it's been raining on and off, and we've been very fortunate to have work in this on and off period, at least like one job a week, you know. But this week, yeah, we didn't have any work, so I guess that's the answer. This week again, we had 0 in our, I guess, profit this week, or job worth this week. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just been very slow. We've gotten a couple bids, and that's kind of where I'm going to transition to, I guess. We had a couple bids this week. Now, one thing, I guess, before I get to the bids, if I'm not going to have any work, like for the week, I'd rather just give like a tip for the week. Does that make sense? Because, you know, I don't want to just be like, hey, you know, we didn't do any work this week, so I guess that's the end of the video, bye, right? I want to kind of like give you at least some information in a sense to maybe help you guys, especially you guys are reaching out to me, which has been awesome, to help you guys, like, you know, try to land more work, how's work for me, and all that other stuff. So I kind of want to give like a tip. So anyways, when it comes to bids, we had 2 bids this week. Now, for me personally, I like to give a bid in person, if that makes sense. Even if they call me and they give me the breakdown of everything, I like to show up in the property, kind of see everything, and kind of just go from there, if that makes sense. Because I don't know what tools I need. You know, do they say, oh yeah, I just need my windows cleaned, but yet they just had like construction done to it, and like there's like a lot of overspray, which I'm going to get into later in the video. Like stuff like that, you know, you don't want to give one bid and it show up and then it's like, oh, we should have charged triple the price. So I mean, you can always have a disclaimer on that, but yeah, it's just, I'd rather just do it in person. Now, again, some people do it over the phone, which is fine. Again, that's the way they want to do their business, and if it works for them, and if you do it too, if it works for you, great. Again, this is just my opinion. This is not, I'm saying this is the only way to do it, but I'll give kind of like what happened with these bids this week. So the 2 bids that I got one was a commercial property, 2 stories, and it was just wanted to only do outside, which is awesome, right? I don't have to go inside. We normally don't clean inside commercial windows. We just do the outside because normally they just hire a janitor. So, but yeah, so we got, so yesterday, which is Thursday, we got 2 bids, right? So that one I was telling you about the commercial property, I said, hey, he asked me, he's like, hey, can you give me a bid? I said, okay, let me see if I can come today. He's like, awesome, thanks. The date kind of started going. I couldn't really adjust my schedule too much. So I was like, hey, I'm going to be able to come tomorrow to look at the property, and then I'll give you that bid. So right after that, he's like, oh, that's not going to work out for me. I need it done today, you know, because if not, then, you know, because I need to submit the bid to like his employer, his boss or whatever. So the thing is that for me, I don't like to feel pressured. Does that make sense? Because he just emailed me yesterday and he wants the bid done that day, which is fine. I mean, we all want, you know, sometimes want a bid right away for other services, right? If something happens to your house, you want a bid kind of that day. But again, I was kind of like, okay, well, I can't stop everything that I'm doing to go do a bid, right? So I ended up just saying to him, okay, well, I can't really go today. I only can go tomorrow. And he's like, no, I have to do it today. So sorry, guys, I had some interruption. I had to step out for a second. But so like I was saying about this bid, I don't really like to have like that pressure of someone telling me like, hey, I need it now. I need to stop everything that I'm doing. Don't really like that so much. So I kind of, so he messaged me and he gave me like a image of like the outside of the property, which is great. It makes my life easier, right? But again, I don't know if there's paint. I don't know if there's any silicone. I don't know if anything, is updated, right? Because I don't want to say, oh, this is the price, and then everything changes, right? And then they'll come up to me, oh, but this is what you said. No. So anyway, so I kind of wrote him an email. And I said, okay, well, ballpark, well, this will be kind of the price. But again, I guess I'm going to mention to you, I put a disclaimer there. And the disclaimer was like, okay, this is not including like construction cleanup such as, and you need to include this if you want to do this, such as removing paint, removing silicone, anything with construction debris that's non-organic. That's a key word, non-organic. The reason I'm saying that is because there might be a word or something that they might be like, oh, I'm confused about, like genuinely confused about. And so you want to make sure you kind of cover all your bases. So I kind of, like I said, I gave them a general ballpark number that I still need to see in the day of. I can let them like confirm the number, of course. Have that disclaimer about it's not a construction clean. So I guess we're going to have to wait on that. He needs it done next week, and also that's another thing. He wanted it done between 6 in the morning and 9 in the morning on a Tuesday. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, he emailed me, he needs it done now, it needs to get approved, and then Tuesday before 9 needs to be done. You kind of see what I'm saying? So I don't like that pressure. But again, we don't have a lot of work right now, so just wanted to give that ballpark price. And so yeah, I mean, we'll see what he says. But anyways. Then we had a second bid that we did. Now, again, I got the bid yesterday. It's a real estate agent, and she said that I can do the bid today, which was nice, right? So I don't have to keep giving ballpark bids. But again, so I went in person. She did mention that she was not going to be there, and there'll be like a painters and a crew there, taking kind of like the touch-ups and all that other stuff. So we get there, Ashley and I, and we kind of look at the property, and it's easy-ish because it's a one-story, but like it's on a hill, and so like more than half of the property is on a second level, but it's still on the first on the inside, so you kind of know what I mean. Like it's a very unique house, but very doable when it comes to organic window cleaning. Now, why do I say organic? Because in this case, these windows, man, they had a lot of overspray, a lot of overspray. And like when she was kind of like talking with me over the phone about this property, I can kind of sense that, she wanted it done right away. She told me she wanted it done next Wednesday. So my first bid, right, Tuesday would be perfect, and then this will be Wednesday. Now, the thing is that because of the angle of it and how unique the house is, and it's really hard in some points to put my ladder in and all that other stuff. Again, not her fault, but I needed to see the property in person because I don't want to go there and say, oh yeah, I see the house on Google, this is the price, and then from there it's a construction clean. Then I'm kind of like, oh snap, and sometimes generally people don't know that window cleaning does not involve removing paint. Does that make sense? Because the best way to remove paint is with a razor, which entitles you need to raise your price. I'm just going to focus on that. You want to raise your price, right? Because it's a construction clean. It can even go up to double the price, right? I mean, depending if it's like the whole house. Now, if it's just 2 windows, you're not doubling your price, right? But yeah, so then the thing is that like if I put organic window cleaning and say, oh yeah, this is the price, and then they're like, well, the paint's still here. Oh, that was the point. It was to have a contract signed, right? Double the price if so, and have a contract signed about the scratch waiver, right? So it was, it was a very unique, but again, so another thing about me, I don't do construction cleans. I used to do it in the past, but now I don't do it anymore. It's just a lot of liability, if you scratch a window and all that other stuff, even if you do it correctly, it's just, and then the way to get to the window, it was kind of difficult. So again, it's, everyone to their own. I know some people love to do construction cleans, which is awesome, great. And from Ashley and I, we don't really like to do construction cleans. Of course, if it's like one story, everything is like very easy to do. Depending, on the time like of the year, then we can make an exception. Like right now, because we don't have a lot of work. But again, it was going to be a lot of work, though. We were going to charge a lot of money. So I kind of, instead of giving her the price and then having her reject me, I kind of was like, hey, this job, we're not going to be able to complete it. Hopefully you find someone soon. So I kind of just politely rejected her. Again, it's not her fault. If I was a real estate agent and I was going to sell a house, I would definitely do what she did. Renovate the whole house and, put new paint on. That is awesome. It's definitely going to have a higher value for, when she tries to sell the house. But in this case, it was just going to be too much of a, yeah, it's going to be too complicated. So unfortunately, we had to politely let her know that we wouldn't be able to do the job. So that's our week this week. Again, I think last week I forgot to mention, like the end of the video, how much we made, but I kind of mentioned it already. I think we made $0, and but next week for sure we have a job, and maybe from the bids that bid earlier, or I guess from yesterday, would give us that job for Tuesday. But if not, then no problem. But yeah, that's our weekly recap. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything else. No? Well, let me know too. Can you guys hear me well? How's the audio quality? Because I'm just using the camera microphone, so hopefully, I mean, I'm looking at the little side, what do you call it? The little screen, and it shows that it's, recording my voice. So, but again, I don't know how the quality is. But anyways, yeah, if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out on our social media pages on Instagram and on Facebook, and we'll catch you next week. All right, bye guys.